Hey everyone, you know me, it's Paul with Washington Pro Carpet Cleaning. Today's video was shot in Port Orchard, McCormick Woods area. This is a regular client of mine that's been doing business with me for, I think the last 7 years. She runs a pretty large daycare in her home, and her husband's military. So they do have some traffic, a couple kids of their own. But this is newer carpet, and it's going to be the first time it's cleaned. So what I recommended to her was that we do a low moisture cleaning with the Oreck Orbital. And she has to have a receipt every 6 months for her licensing upkeep with the daycare out here. So rather than come in and do a full steam cleaning on it, it's best to do, since you're doing it every 6 months, just in between, do the low moisture, and then once a year do a full steam cleaning. So that's what I'm recommending. So a lot of you will get to see another video using the Oreck, which I just recently used the other day. So stand by and I will get started. I'm going to pre-spray all the areas. And again, I'm using the O2 Must Prime, like Otimus Prime is what it is, from mysoapdaddy.com. It is a product that is specifically made for this type of cleaning. And I think in the last video I explained what it does. It will suspend the soils in the carpet. This was all pre-vacuumed by the customer for me. And again, it's not that dirty, so I'm not going to overspray it. That would defeat the purpose. Just a light mist, and then the pad will pick up any dirt, traffic, anything that's on there. So if you're learning to do carpets, that's important that you definitely want to pre-vacuum. Don't ever try this method without vacuuming first, because you would be surprised. Even on some clean carpets I go into, when I vacuum, I can pull out about a half a bag and you wouldn't have known it was there. And if you come in and you just start spraying it down and then use this method, you're just turning all that dry soil into mud and making your job more difficult. In my opinion, you're just spinning the dirt around and thinning it out amongst the carpet, which is not a good thing to do. So it's always good to pre-vacuum. Then you want to pre-spray. And here I'm only doing the living room and the hallway. What you don't want to happen is for the product to go on there and dry before you get the pad over it. So usually do about 2 rooms at a time with this method. Some people will do more if they lay it heavier. There is a little bit of dwell time. You want that to happen, especially if you have dirty carpets. You want to pre-spray it, maybe agitate with a brush. The Oreck Orbiter, comes with a brush attachment, and occasionally I'll use that just to agitate before I steam clean. I'll come in, pre-spray it with my steam cleaning primetime enzyme, and use the Oreck with the brush on it, and I'll get everything stirred up and agitated, loosened up, and then I'll steam clean it. Same thing here. If you got heavily soiled areas or heavy traffic areas, pre-spray a little bit heavier. Get a brush or get your groomer and kind of work it in, spray over it again, let it sit. It's going to make a world of difference when you begin doing the orbital pad to those areas. And you also want to make sure you're rotating or flipping the pad using a new pad. I've seen, some people can go a long distance. They do absorb quite a bit, but if you're doing a dirty carpet, I would probably flip the pad about every 2 rooms just to be safe, or take it off and rinse it off. No big deal, but it helps to make the carpet a lot cleaner. You're not just distributing the dirt evenly. So anyway, I'm going to start the process here in the living room with the Oreck, and you'll see here, I did speed it up a little bit. The video would have been, my goodness, almost 40 minutes. And I tried a couple different methods here. So methods, not methods, but with the camera angles. This is a little difficult to do. So I had seen one of the guys that I watched that strictly does VLM, or very low moisture cleaning. He uses a 175 Challenger or an Oreck as well. You may have seen him, Carpet Muscle, Corey. He does a cool job, and he's a pretty big dude, so he can do it with one hand. But I did notice sometimes he would put the camera down, so I got a small mini tripod, and after I get out of this living room, I'll start to play with it and put it in different areas. And I did find that when I place it on the carpet, it is actually, it gives for a better video, because you're actually right down there looking at the pad spinning and cleaning and rotating the fibers of the carpet. Pretty cool. You'll see that coming up here. And again, this is not a heavily soiled carpet, so it's almost like a freshening up. And for daycare purposes, she has to have the carpets cleaned every 6 months. So this will suffice that. And it is doing a fantastic job. You never really can tell. I mean, it's brand new carpet, but as I start going through, and it's hard to tell on this gray carpet, but in person you could see the difference, the dirt lifting out. So there was a little bit of soil on there, and pulling all that out. This particular job had a living room, a large hallway or foyer, a family room, and a bonus room, and an additional long hallway coming from the garage door into the kitchen. So, and because I do this every 6 months, and this is new carpet, if you're doing this and you put it on a maintenance program, I can give you a discount and a break on the price, because I know that it's not going to take me as long. It's not going to be as dirty if you're only going 6 months. Even with the daycare, I'll come back out, and then the first time we'll steam clean it, get it thoroughly clean. Then 6 months later, we'll do this low moisture cleaning. Just get everything out of the way. We'll clean it up, get it smelling great, looking great, and you'll have your stuff back on the carpet in an hour, so it's not going to disrupt you at all. Then 6 months later, we'll repeat and go back to the steam clean. So it's definitely a good thing to do, good maintenance program. Your carpets will last a lot longer. And the reason that I wanted to use this method here, especially with new carpet, coming in and bringing all the hoses in and steam cleaning a carpet that's in this condition would be like using a sledgehammer to put a small pin nail in the wall to hang a picture. It's just overkill. You don't need that big steam cleaner to do this job. So, and again, some guys, this is all they do, and they do a fantastic job. It does definitely absorb the soils. My whole understanding with carpet, and I've been doing it since 1993, I was certified through the Institute of Carpet Repair Restoration, and that was years ago. I did that once when I first got in. I worked for a fella and did work for him, got certified, and then shortly after started my own company. But even with steam cleaning, what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in, here's the steps. You're going to vacuum, pre-vacuum, and then if you're going to pre-spray or pre-spot sometimes, if you see unique stuff, rust or whatnot, oils, and then pre-spray everything. And if you need agitation to loosen up some of the darker traffic areas, you're going to brush it, or you're going to use a machine to kind of agitate everything up, like this machine with the brush on it. Some people use the CRB, and that does a great job too. But anyway, then the next thing you're going to do, so all those steps can be identical even with the low moisture. You're going to pre-vacuum, you're going to pre-spot, pre-spray, and you're going to agitate where needed. And then you have to extract. So the cleaning process, you're pre-doing all those steps, and then you're either going to extract with a pad like this, or you're going to do hot water extraction, which is what is known as steam cleaning. So both methods will extract. You just have to know what you're doing. It's really not the tool, it's the technician, the knowledge, and just experience and time you learn. You know, every carpet cleaner when they start out really wants to impress the customer, which we all do. And I know years ago, I mean, I tried every chemical you could imagine, just short of pouring bleach on people's carpets, because I really wanted to make them look brand new. You have to realize at some point, you know, you're there to clean. You're not dyeing them, you're not making them new. And sometimes the really bad, dirty marks that don't come out, you have to realize that it wasn't you that put it there, you know. It's you that's going to do the best you can to try and get them clean. So anyway, and then afterwards, you know, after the extraction process, you should rake it, groom it, get it looking good. Sometimes I'll put an air dryer down if it's lived in and I want to get it dry quicker. So it just depends, you know, what the situation is. There's lots of different things you can do, but primarily, and again, this is for the guys that are getting in the business, you can get into it. And I actually found a machine similar to this one. It's not an Oreck, but I saw it on eBay being sold brand new. The whole package with the brush and the pads and everything looks exactly like this, but it's blue for $299 for the whole setup, brand new. I think it has a 24-month or 12-month warranty as well, which is fantastic. So if you're interested, you know, I can send you a link. Just comment and I'll send the link to you so you can find that. But definitely, you know, it's a business that you could get into, make some money. And then all carpet cleaners, I think, we all start to purchase different equipment. Over the years, I've had very expensive trucks, a fleet of trucks, top line truck mount equipment. I've done pretty much everything. Portable steam cleaners back when they had the original Ninja 400. I have a Eclipse, which they refer to as a portable truck mount, which I don't like to. I mean, a portable's a portable. You shouldn't call it a truck mount, but you know, mine, it has every bit as much power. I think on the suction side, I can pull about 249 inches of lift with about 125 feet of hose. And then if I drop down to 50, I can pull almost 300 inches of lift, water lift that is, which any more than that, you can't move the wand anymore. It's too hard. So we all have our methods of heating. You know, I have a 3,000 watt heat exchanger that's in tank. So, but anyway, back to this method. I'm just saying that, you know, we all get into that over the years. You'll play with stuff. You'll get the expensive stuff. You know, the only thing I don't deviate from is I don't like to do homemade carpet cleaners. I have a couple of buddies that are good friends of mine, and you know, they dabble in that. And hey, some of them they work fantastic. I've seen the work they do. I got a buddy in Las Vegas that you know, he mixes up some kind of a degreaser and a citrus formula, and I don't know what it is. I think he even puts a squirt of Dawn in there for cutting, but I just don't do that. I just figure, you know, if you mix it to the right ratios, it's not going to cost you that much, and you just need to charge it a little bit more so that you can use the proper chemical, and then that way I don't have to mess with it. I don't ever look at a carpet and go, boy, I wonder if I could have done better. you know, or I wonder if it's what I'm using, and try to tweak it, it's just not worth it. You know, some guys, that's just a lesson. When you start out, don't do that. Just get the right stuff, get the right chemicals to do the job. Always, you know, don't skip any of those steps. Do them always. You know, it's the worst thing, especially if you do videos. You don't want people watching, you know, dirt and debris popping around while you're doing this method, because that just means you didn't vacuum, and that's not a good sign. So anyway, but again, if you're doing that, no hate to anybody. Love everyone. You know, everybody does their own thing, and I'm just here to give you my opinion and help out as many people as I can help out. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I've got a couple more rooms to do here. I think what I'll do, rather than continue to bore you, is maybe switch over and put some music on. If you are interested in starting a business, I'd be happy to give you some information. You can just leave a comment, and maybe via email I can give you some information and tell you, you know, whatever you need to know, what license to get, what insurance to get. And that's a big thing too, is general liability. A lot of guys don't have it. It's really unregulated, the carpet cleaning industry. I mean, you don't have to get certified, you don't have to be licensed. But I'll tell you, if you ever chip some tile or overspray, and you know, the wallboard, the paint comes off, or all kinds of stuff can happen. And luckily, I haven't had very many problems. You know, I'm very slow, meticulous, and careful when I do jobs. I like to be thorough. I don't overbook myself. I don't need to do that anymore these days. But my insurance is through Hiscox, Hiscox. If you look up Hiscox online, they sell general liability insurance. You can get, I think you can get like $300,000, $400,000 worth of general liability for $40 a month. So as a startup company, and you don't even have to give them your business license or anything. You just say, hey, this is what I want to insure. You know, get a bank account with, mine's Washington Pro Carpet Cleaning. And then just have them match the name of your business. They'll do the insurance. You can do it on auto pay, $40 a month. I mean, anything happens, you're covered for the $300,000 or $400,000. You know, if something gets damaged. Plus, if you actually get into commercial work, you may need more. I know I've got a couple hotels that require $1 million liability. So, and even there, you're, you know, basically looking at, you know, about 80. You can figure 80, $90 to get that type of general liability coverage. So, and the other thing too, so much for the music, I guess, huh? But the other thing that's important, I think, is, you know, get a good invoice. You know, you can make up an invoice. You can, with computers now, make sure you put in the bottom that you can't guarantee that you'll remove all, you know, spots or stains. Depends on prior condition, prior service, what was done to it, the age, things like that. Natural wear and tear will, you know, is not cleaning. That won't go away. And that allow dry time. I always say 8 to 24 hours. And airflow is key. Use fans. Then you're just covered. You know, if anything goes wrong, it's right there on the bottom of your receipt that you have them sign. And you can even, when I started out, I just made one on the computer, took it down, had 100, 200 copies made, and at Office Depot or Staples, pick up some carbon paper. And, you know, I'd use a piece of carbon paper between 2 pages and do probably 10, 15 jobs with one carbon, and then switch out to a different carbon, which... small bottle there. That is a lemon deodorizer. I just walked through and misted that throughout the house. And then the Grande groomer. Gonna go in and start at the furthest point and groom these carpets. They do look very beautiful. Pretty proud of the work. And they'll be dry. They're almost dry to the touch now because I didn't have to put a lot of chemical down because they were not really dirty. So let me go ahead and finish this up. I'll do some snapshots as I go out each room and put those on for the final results. Appreciate you watching. You have any questions, feel free to let me know. Okay, here's the final results. I appreciate you guys watching the video. I enjoyed doing another VLM video, or very low moisture cleaning. The VLM is kind of, you know, guys that are in the carpet industry understand that. So everything came out fantastic. I hope you enjoyed watching the video. Everyone stay blessed, and I'll see you in the next episode. Thank you.